We started it.
Yeah, I just started it.
They're waiting.
I don't know what to do today.
What about that line you had? The welcome ghouls and goblins.
What? What? Welcome. I can't say that. You know what? That broke the ice. We're out in Rancho Drupa Regional Park for the Halfway to Halloween Festival. I am the Antichrist, by the way. Government name is Kylie. If you're new here, hello. Maybe you know Haunted Hippie. That's my main channel where I talk about horror movies. This is where I do other spooky stuff. So that's what we're doing today. I directed a short film last year, and the makeup artist from that short invited me to model for him and his assistant today to put some demon makeup on. I'm pretty stoked. I have my chauffeur and and handsome man over here who's with me today. Gonna be vlogging that, or maybe at least a time lapse of the transformation, and just checking out this, it's a festival? I guess it's not really a convention, because they don't have, you know, actor guests and that kind of stuff, but there's a bunch of spooky vendors. There's makeup people doing makeup, I guess. I don't know. I don't know a lot of information. The makeup artist reached out for a favor, and I was like, yeah! And here, and away we go.
And away we go. Who is that?
Rick Sanchez.
Yeah.
100 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Thought that I was playing around, being Satan's favorite daughter. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I live. They laid this prosthetic very well. Now it all comes off. Hello. I just wanted to pop in because, you know, naturally I didn't do a lot of talking during the vlogging portion. So I just want to kind of do a general recap and maybe share a couple more photos or whatever. Just talk about the overall experience because it is pretty much a brand new festival. So what are my recommendations? Should you go next year, etc.? For me, I'm not sure because the big thing was the location. It took place in the Rancho Drupa Regional Park. I also don't know how to pronounce that, but it's out near like Corona Sedona and Riverside and kind of just, it's way out there. If you live in the LA area, you know, it's like, oh, that's far. I would assume it was hosted there because there was the room, it was a park area. It seems like you could host a fair there or something. And also I imagine because it's in that location that it would be relatively cheap to host there. That's just my speculation because it is way out there. Like I've never been to an event or anything way out there. The last time I was in Riverside was to stay at the most haunted hotel in California, the Mission Inn Riverside, which there actually is a vlog of on this channel, and I share some of the history of the hotel and stuff, so you can check that out too. Location, not totally it for me, but if you live in that area, then it's great. The festival was a little bit bigger than I was anticipating just because I had never heard of it. Obviously, it's brand new. This was only the second year that they ran it, but there were several aisles of all of the vendors and stuff. Like you saw, there was a little bit of footage of some of my favorite products that I ran into. Hello Darkness was one of my favorite booths. I don't know if that's like the official name of their business or what, but I got their little card here, and then on the back it says custom laser engraving. But they had really cool stuff. I particularly loved their little coffin flasks. Oh my god. And then also the mirrors that they had I thought were like very chic, because a lot of the times like I'm not super into a lot of horror memorabilia type stuff. I'm not really a figurine kind of person. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that, Chucky and Tiffany, because a lot of it just gives tacky to me. These mirrors were so gorgeous. Like they looked very chic. So that was a great booth. And then I also got a pair of earrings there from a booth called Willow Oakview? Could that be the name of the business? I'm not sure. But look how cute these are, and they were only $6, so I had to snatch them. They would have gone so well with my outfit, but I wanted to keep them in here because I had to show you guys. Oh, and also like there was paint literally all up in my ears and stuff, so not the best time for earrings. Anyway, so the booths were really great. There were some really cool high quality products. I don't think that I got any videos or pictures of the cool crochet stuff that I saw, but also several of the booths had like horror clips, so I wonder if those are coming into fashion right now. Those were very cute. One of my favorite events of the day was the drag show. Of course, I probably left like the entire clip in the montage. She was fierce, let me tell you. And then after I ended the video, ugh, sigh, she came down into the audience and was doing like crowd work. She was doing drops on the grass in the middle of everybody. I mean, she had us in a chokehold. She was great. And then unfortunately, because I was in the makeup chair during the costume contest, first of all, I missed out on that, but we had like a 2-hour drive home, and so I just was not gonna wait until 7 p.m. to like get up there and do the costume contest because the cash prize was like $250, and I was like, you know, if it was like 1,000, then I would have hung around and I would have participated. But no, not for that, because I also would have given majority of that to the makeup artist, to Oliver and Alexis. But I was in the chair and my back was facing the stage, so I couldn't actually see the costume contest. But they did one for adults and then they did one for kids. Seems like that would have been a hoot and a half. It was probably great. It sounded awesome from behind me. We didn't end up doing any of the haunts, but to be honest, they didn't look particularly enticing. We left before it got dark, so maybe more actors and stuff came out and they were louder and a little bit more exciting, but they were very, very small and kind of just like on the fringes of the festival. So that was a little bit odd to me. I guess we should have tried one. I can't knock it till I try it, but they just, from the outside, they looked really cheap, and coming from Universal Studios, where I even have my qualms with their production design, I just don't think it really would have been my thing. So maybe they were worth it. The ticket prices are super reasonable anyway, so for the ticket prices it probably about matched up, and I think there were like 7 or 8 haunts around. Also, the food was really good. They had barbecue, they had a taco stand. I'm not sure what else they had. I think they might have had a funnel cake stand somewhere because I swore that I could smell it, but I don't know if that's just my nose hallucinating because I'm at a festival and I love funnel cake. So yeah, overall it was a relatively small event, but I was really impressed kind of by the turnout. I was really impressed by a lot of the costumes of everyone that attended. People did some awesome makeup at home, let me tell you. So the vibes were really good. I really enjoyed myself. I'm really happy that Oliver and Alexis invited me to model for them. I was in the chair for most of the time that I was there, but then I was creeping around and I took some photos and I pointed people back to their booth. I said, yep, Master of Disaster, go check out Oliver and Alexis. They have some of their movies for sale that they did the special effects makeup in, and some that I believe they produced. I'm not sure. That makeup took maybe, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours to get on, and then about an hour to take off, and then of course there was like the 2-hour drive home, and then I had to get into the shower and do some real work. So it's a long process. You're left very raw, and it's very sensory overload, you know. It's no joke. That kind of makeup is no joke, but so enjoyable because I was feeling myself. If you enjoyed that look and the work that those guys did, here are their Instagrams. You can get in touch. I also will likely be hiring them for my next short film, which you can help fund, by the way. The GoFundMe should be at the top of the description box. I have some fun, really nasty, gnarly special effects stuff, as well as a really fun, I guess it kind of is a creature role that I'm really excited to see kind of, you know, what they designed for it. So if you want to help us along with that, then feel free to donate. I have some incentives that I get more into on my main channel, like my recent post of watching The Human Centipede. I have torture milestones on that GoFundMe, so yeah, check it out. I also have a Patreon, and patrons get special thanks in my short films, so you can check that out too. And depending on which tier you join, you get a bonus video every single week. If you are in the 3rd tier on the Patreon, then you get sometimes multiple videos a week. I try to make it worth your time over there. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram. That's a good place to kind of keep track of what I'm up to. I recommend the Halfway to Halloween Festival, especially if you're in the area. I don't know if it's something I'd recommend traveling 2 hours for like I did, but obviously I was there with a purpose. So I hope that you enjoyed this vlog, this little taste of the festival, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.